Have you been following Gwyneth Paltrow's latest trial? If not, you might want to tune into all the interesting facts as things are really starting to heat up. Hi, I'm Stacey Taylor and today I'm counting down the top 10 bizarre moments in Gwyneth Paltrow's trial. So do you think Gwyneth should be found guilty? And if so, let us know in the comments below. Starting off our list at number 10, we have practical jokes thoughts. So throughout the trial, there's been a lot of discussion on who really hit who on the mountain while Gwyneth was skiing with her family. With Gwyneth sticking to her story to say she was actually the victim in all of this mess, when she took to the stand, she would also end up being questioned by Sanderson's lawyer, Kristen Van Orman. And during the questioning process, Gwyneth would admit that she was an intermediate skier, and when the accident occurred, she was skiing on a green run, which is known as a beginner or an easy mountain. When she was allegedly hit in the back by another skier. During her testimony, Gwyneth would then say, "Two skis came between my skis, forcing my legs apart, and then there was a body pressing against me. And then there was a strange grunting noise. My brain was trying to make sense of what was happening. I thought it was a practical joke. Is someone doing something? Blank. This is really strange." The actress then went on to say her mind was going very quickly to the point she couldn't even comprehend what was actually happening. Number 9. Heels height moment. So apparently Gwyneth is just really tall, exactly like she looks like on camera. But when it comes to someone's height, I don't really think any of us really thought a lawyer would bring it up as a compliment during a trial, especially in a way that wouldn't really be helpful to the plaintiff's case. When Gwyneth took to the stand, her and the plaintiff's lawyer would then have a height and heel moment when the lawyer asked the actor how tall she was. Gwyneth ended up telling the lawyer that she was just under 5'10", but she was starting to shrink. After having a little conversation about their height, the lawyer would then state that she was jealous as she had to wear 4-inch heels just so she could make 5'5", to the point Gwyneth started complimenting her heels by telling her they were very nice. And if the moment couldn't get even more bizarre, when the lawyer referred to herself being small, Gwyneth would then say, "You're small, but mighty. You're actually not that small." Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Point number 8. Didn't know it was Gwyneth? Sanderson, who was with a group of friends while he was skiing on the slopes that day when the accident occurred, went straight to urgent care after the collision to have his injuries checked. He then said it was there that he believes his friend, Craig Raymond, told him that the other skier he collided with was actually Gwyneth Paltrow. During his testimony, things started to get a little strange after he said he wasn't into celebrity worship and that he didn't care at the point who he collided with, as it was just wrong for them not to make sure he was okay. To which Kristen Van Orman would ask him, "Did you think it was cool to collide with a celebrity?" To which Terry would then be dumbfounded over the question and quickly responded by turning the question down when he said, "Absolutely not, that's not who I am." No. 7. Sanderson Is Famous. It seems like this trial is becoming a she's famous and he's famous trial instead of actually solving the overall problem. Why both parties are in court at this point. As Paltrow's attorney, Stephen Owens, has started to point out that Sanderson once even wrote on his Facebook page after the collision when he went on to read a post by saying, "What does he post to his daughters? I'm famous." He doesn't post is that I'm guilty. What he doesn't post is that I'm injured. He doesn't post googly gawk. Is that the right word? Confusing stuff. Paltrow's attorney then went on to reference an email about the collision from one of Sanderson's daughters when he said, "I also can't believe this is all on the GoPro." Although Sanderson says there is no GoPro footage of the collision and such video has yet to come up as evidence in the trial, it has us all wondering, is there actually footage out there somewhere, or did Gwyneth's lawyer just manipulate an email so he could hurt Sanderson's case? However, with a witness named Craig Raymond, who was skiing with Sanderson on the day of the incident, confirming it was actually Gwyneth who slammed into his friend, it's going to be interesting to see what type of bad acting Gwyneth is going to bring up to try to confuse the jury. Number 6. Debate over $1. At the start of the trial, Gwyneth Paltrow's attorney would hold on to $1 in an attempt to make it a symbolic moment, as apparently that's the amount Gwyneth is countersuing for. Sanderson's attorneys would then later reference the gimmick by saying Paltrow didn't entirely tell the truth when she testified, she was just countersuing for just $1, by saying, "You are also asking, and this is not for the jury to decide, but this is for the court to decide later, you're asking for attorney fees in this case, which could be quite substantial." Is that not true? Gwyneth then answered Van Orman's question by saying, I'm asking for $1 for me and then reimbursement for attorney fees, which is a separate thing. But it seems like they're all just trying to make an example out of Sanderson at the start of the trial by turning him into a laughingstock. Number 5. Grilled about Taylor Swift. Because Taylor Swift once sued $1 in a 2017 trial against a radio station DJ after she accused the DJ of touching her inappropriately, and because of this, Gwyneth would be grilled about her friendship with Taylor Swift when she was asked about what inspired her $1 lawsuit. During the trial, Van Orman also referenced the 2020 deposition, during which she asked Paltrow if she knew about Taylor Swift's suit, which the pop star actually won. Gwyneth then testified that she did not know about it at the time, but she has since learned about it. But due to her bad facial reactions, it's clear that the actor was lying. Van Orman then went on to ask her if she and Taylor Swift were good friends, and it would cause Gwyneth to say no before explaining, I wouldn't say we're good friends. We're friendly. I've taken my kids to one of her concerts before, but we don't talk very often. Paltrow's lawyers then started to object to the line in question, but the judge sustained the comment, meaning Gwyneth was put into an uncomfortable position, knowing her lies weren't going to save her. Number 4. Forgot the attorney's name. Now there's this thing that happens to actors that's actually really funny from time to time, so when we get so into our lines that we worked really hard to learn, sometimes we just get so caught up in the world, within the story we are creating, that we forget what's actually going on around us. And it seems this is exactly what is happening to Gwyneth during this case. During a tense exchange with Sanderson's attorney, Paltrow said she found out later that Sanderson had broken 4 ribs and needed to be taken down the slope in a toboggan. When Van Orman asked if Gwyneth inquired if he was okay, the actress answered, "What is your name again?" "I'm sorry, Kristen." When it was confirmed that this was the attorney's name, Gwyneth then went on to say, "Sorry, I was going to say Kristen." I think you have to keep in mind when you're a victim of a crash, your psychology is not necessarily thinking about the person who perpetrated it. Number 3. Gwyneth's lawyer's apology. At one point during the trial, Gwyneth's lawyers would have to apologize for being rude to the daughter of the doctor suing the Oscar-winning actress. Before Gwyneth's lawyer, Stephen Owens, continued on with his cross-examination of Holly Sanderson Grasham, who was called to be a witness for her father, Terry said he would like to apologize to Polly. When he said, "I need to apologize, as I was being an arse earlier. It was wrong for me to triangulate you, your dad, your sister, and your mom. I asked for forgiveness. I think we can all agree when a lawyer has to apologize for their actions, it isn't exactly a good look for your case." With the lawyer also referring to the tense moment that happened earlier that day, the apology would come after Polly was asked if her dad was actually abusive and a liar, like her sister Jenny said in her deposition. Number 2. The broken relationship. One of the most heartbreaking parts of the trial is when Van Orman asked the plaintiff why he broke up with his girlfriend and why he told her to leave him. Sanderson would then begin to cry, as he went on to say, "I knew she didn't buy into this, but she didn't buy into me not being the same person coming into the relationship." Sanderson had no idea if he would ever be able to get back to normal again, and he said the breakup was sad for both of them, before noting that his ex was now with someone else. Before saying, "And that was the purpose, and I think better than what I would have brought, honestly." It's hard to admit that, but it's true. The accident really injured him, not only mentally but also physically, and that had to be really hard on him, and to think that it made him feel like he changed his views on his relationship is actually pretty sad to think about. And coming in number 1 today, we have the shocking looks. So if you're on TikTok, then you've probably seen a bunch of videos circling around the platform about the trial. Well, in one video circling around the social media platform, if you saw the video, then you can see Gwyneth breaking down and trying to hide her facial expressions in the process, as prosecutors called out her lies. As a prosecutor went on to call out Gwyneth for lying under her oath several times during her testimony, Gwyneth would then start to look completely shocked in the process, as she was struggling to hide her facial reactions, as the prosecutor went on to point out each of these single moments. So it just goes to show that if you're going to lie, at least put an effort and make the story at least believable, because you never know who's going to call you out on it. Well, that's it for this video, my little peaches, and until the next one, remember to stay juicy.